So GladrapChannel, here with the White Cattle Warrior, Cairo George. Exciting news today. You want to break it down for the people that might not understand?
Yeah, sweet. So there's been a deal made between TVNZ and a couple of our local boxers, Hemi, Ahio and David Nica, where they're going to air the fights live on TV. You know, I mean, pay-per-views a bit steep for some people, and you get a bigger audience when it's live on the main channel. So this is exciting. You know, it goes from, I don't know, a few thousand views to like millions now, because it's going to be free to air on like mainstream TV channels. So exciting for these guys. Big card to be on, and the Devin Haney Kambosos rematch. The last one was like 41,000 in attendance, and so I think it's going to be another big crowd as well. So exciting card to be on, and exciting for like the New Zealand public to see it for free on a main channel.
You know, in this day and age, there's almost like a battle for attention. There's so many things happening. There's TikTok, there's YouTube, there's this and that. There's so many things that can take away attention. But to sort of for like this to be on TV, TVNZ, to get those extra eyeballs, is it good for, you know, up and coming fighters like David Nica just to build their, you know, their social media? You know, like you see what's happening with Jake Paul and stuff, right? Like, do you think this is a good thing?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, you know, on pay-per-view, compare that to what you'll see with numbers-wise, how many people are booking it on pay-per-view. Those are probably like your sports fans and stuff. Now that it's on a main channel and it's free to air, it's probably going to reach the audience of just general public outside of just sports fans. So building just a bigger fan base, reaching out to a much bigger audience here, it's definitely good for these guys' profiles and things moving forward. Yeah.
Because I always see you on Snapchat. Like, do you think that's important? That's part of the business as well. Like,
Yeah, just being present and being present, I suppose, because people follow these guys on social media, and if they're active on there and that, I suppose they feel like they're somehow involved in seeing the journey. So yeah, no, definitely.
So what do you think so far of David? Like his professional boxing career? How do you think it's gone so far? Do you know what's lined up next for him as well?
Yep, so I think there's going to be an opponent announced in about a week on who he's fighting on this card. But yeah, I think he's coming along well, undefeated. He's still making the adjustments from amateur boxing to professional boxing, and I think that this next fight you'll see a big change in his style and how he'll look out there. So exciting to see how this one's going to play out compared to the other ones. He's really making those adjustments into a professional fighter and looking to, you know, be more involved in the hurt business rather than point scoring. So exciting for this one.
You know, I don't know whether I asked you this question before, but you were sort of giving the exclusive footage when I saw David Nica with Jai Opetaia. Like, what was how did that sparring go? I know you can't give me the intimate details, but how did he hold up against him?
Yeah, like Jai is really, really good. Like, he was sparring, I think, 12 rounds straight, and David Nica and David Light, I think, did half of the rounds each. And yeah, like, Jai was really, really fit for that fight. He was a big underdog in that fight, and I was real confident that he was going to win that. So, no, that was real awesome. And like, now that he's the number one in the world, it's a good scale for David, who's in the same weight division, to sort of see how he compares at that sort of top level. And so yeah, no, that was exciting as well, and a good opportunity to see where he's at in terms of like the world scale.
And what do you think about Jai? Like, you know, being the underdog in the fight, but winning that fight. Not only that, like with a broken jaw. Like, how'd you score that as, you know, being a warrior yourself?
Yeah, no, that was exciting. That was so cool to see. Like, I feel like he had that fight in every aspect. Like, he outboxed him. Then, like, he kind of outgrind him as well. You know, when he had the broken jaw and he just sort of just dug down. So yeah, every aspect of that fight, I feel like he was in control of it. So exciting to see, like, the number one in the world is so close to like this part of the world as well. It's good for like New Zealand and Australia boxers coming through to see like a guy that's really not that far from here, just, you know, inspiring, you know, younger boxers that, oh, this thing, you know, we can actually do this and make it all the way because a local guy's done it.
Is Jai on the same like weight scale, like on the weight as David? Like David, like, are they both cruiserweights? Like, they're both on the same page?
Yeah, so they're both cruiserweights, so that's why it was good to get a measure when they were sparring on kind of how he is in terms of, you know, Jai's now the number one in the world in that division, so for them to spar each other kind of is good to see where Dave sort of measures up in terms of like world scale.
Because these are big fights. If for any of them, right? Like maybe down in the future, these could be like multi-million-dollar fights, right? With either, you know, David Wyatt or David Nica, right? Or even them two. There's so many fights to be made right then and there.
Yeah, and locally too. Like Cruiserweight's so stacked in this part of the world. Like there's David, Nica, Jerome Pampalone has just won a Cruiserweight regional title in IBF, I think. Jai, David Light, Floyd Mason, who's based in Australia now. He's originally from New Zealand. That division's so stacked in this part of the world. There's some big fights to be made.
There's some money to be made as well.
Yeah, hard out, yeah.
So let me ask you your predictions. Big fight happening next week. 27th. Joyce was, the Juggernaut versus Joe Zapaka. How do you see that one going? That's a tough one for me to score. How do you see it?
Like Joe Joyce is a big, strong guy. It's going to be a tough fight for Joe, but I back him. I back his speed, his skills. That he's going to be able to get the job done. I was surprised with the odds actually. Like he's a big underdog, so all the Kiwis, you want to make some money, bet on our man Joe. I think he can do it.
Do you see it as a? I mean, obviously it's a tough fight, but do you see it going like the distance, or like how do you see this one? Like this seems to be some bad blood. I've never seen Joe sort of lose his cool at the press conference. This is the first time I've actually seen him. Do you think that could? I don't know. Do you think that could make a better fight, or that could make it? I don't know, a shorter fight.
That was exciting. I haven't seen both Joes actually act like that, so that is exciting build-up. The fight, Joe Joyce is such a big, strong, like iron-jawed guy. I think that Joe Parker can outbox him and win on points. I can't really see him knocking him out, but the heavyweights, anyone can knock anyone out in those divisions. So yeah, exciting to see.
And what's happening with you, man? Like tell us, how's the gym going? How's headquarters? How's the fighters there? I see you traveling a bit. Tell us a bit about you.
Yeah, well, like when COVID came and I couldn't travel overseas anymore, I kind of stepped away from competing and boxing, and I ended up taking on all these gigs, coaching and training guys. So yeah, I'm real busy with that. We travel around. I'm away most weekends. I'll be heading over to Melbourne for this one in a few weeks as well. NZ Nationals coming up. I've got a team going to the New Zealand Nationals, and I'm also coaching Messam, who's making the step over from professional rugby to professional boxing. So exciting journey there. So yeah, I'm deep in this coaching gig at the moment, so that's kind of where my focus is right now. And gym's pumping, in Hamilton. Come down, check us out. Hit Fitness HQ.
How do you like coaching? Like I know your dad's a coach as well, and do you feel it's in your blood? Like are you enjoying it? Like the journey?
Yeah, it's definitely a big transition from like being a fighter and competing and stuff. Like the coaching role is real selfless, like I've got to do all I can to make sure that guy's comfortable and give him the easiest sort of more comfort, I should say, in those fight weeks and that leading up, where as a fighter, I've got to be focused on myself and be real selfish. So it's a completely different role, but I've made that adjustment well, and I'm excited. Like I still get to satisfy that like competitive itch through these guys that I'm training in that, because yeah, I'm a competitive guy. Like when I was competing in that was, I'm real competitive. That's what made me do so well. So now I still get to sort of satisfy that competitive itch through the guys that I'm coaching and making them, champions.
Yeah, and keep some of the stuff up, man. Like the little exclusive footage you put there. Like nobody would have seen that happen. Like I would have just seen photos, but it was cool to see that. So thanks for sharing those. And yeah, keep up the good work. So just tell people where they can follow you again. So hit headquarters, Waikato if you're out there, go and train, and just give people where they can go.
Yep. So the social medias, the gym's Hit Fitness HQ, one word, and my socials at Waikato Warrior on Instagram. So yeah, hit us up if you're keen to come down. I'll give you a free trial out, and yeah, sweet.
Cool. Thanks for your time, John. Thank you so much. Always good talking to you, man.